Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, March 25th, 2025, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $sign ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got some NHL action this Tuesday evening. The Seattle Kraken versus the Calgary Flames. Puck drop is going to be here in just a couple minutes. And what a glorious day here in the Pacific Northwest. Usually when we talk, about the Kraken, or the Mariners, usually it's not something that's exciting, so to speak. But Cal Raleigh getting the deal done. And me and Reflect and a few other Mariner fans, we didn't really know at some point or another, he loves Seattle, but the ownership is cheap. So for us to be able to get Cal Raleigh locked in, for $105 million, which is cheap, 6 years, there's only 3 catchers right now that are getting over $100 million. JT Realmuto, Will Smith, and now Cal Raleigh. And if you ask me, Cal is the best one out of those 3. And I still think that even if Cal wasn't on the Mariners, even though his batting average may not be 300, I think that he excels at every other category better than any other catcher that's in the game right now. So definitely very, very excited. And I was joking around with my best friend, Justin, and he was kind of mentioning, normally we have to wait after that rookie deal is done, but, it may be time to get a Cal Raleigh Big Dumper jersey for me and Justin, my best friend, at some point this year or obviously next year, since we know he's going to be in the building for quite some time. No trade clause, which is fantastic as well. Love me, Big Dumper. I think he's the most important player on the team, based on what he does for the pitching staff as well as defensively and offensively. And hopefully we can get some good offense and defense in this matchup here today, obviously in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Let's go. And we're getting very, very close to opening day for the MLB. I got NXT on right now as well. And obviously we got opening day on Thursday. We'll be doing the Athletics versus the Mariners at 7 o'clock Pacific. And then tomorrow, I haven't really decided what we're going to do tomorrow just yet. Again, Damian Lillard with a blood clot, indefinitely out. Yeah, Juju with the ACL tear, terrible. And again, especially when their team, with Juju being the best female player in the game, they were, going to make a deep run. Who knows how far they were going to go? It wasn't guaranteed they were going to win it all, but there was a very good chance that they could get, to the championship game, the Final Four, or at the very least the Elite Eight. So prayers up for Juju. And no, not a whole lot of other news. Russell Wilson, going to the Giants with Jameis Winston. So now officially the Giants have been eliminated from the playoffs in 2025, and we haven't even played a game yet. If I was the Giants, to go from Daniel Jones, Danny Dimes to Jameis Winston and now Russell Wilson, good luck. It's not going to be fun. And again, it's okay if you want to have a guy like that for like a year, but or 2 at the most, or a guy that's a backup. But yeah. And unfortunately, Diggs' shine going from Minnesota to play with Buffalo and Josh Allen, he's going to regret, causing all those problems with Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills, because then you went to the Texans and you thought things were going to be great. You got hurt, and then they don't want you anymore, and now you're on New England. And if he stays healthy, it'll help Drake May. But if you're looking at the offensive weapons with Ramondre Stevenson and a few of those others, it doesn't look very good. Let's be honest. Diggs is not the same player as he was a few years back, and hopefully he can stay, injury-free. If he does, that could help the Patriots possibly win 1 or 2 more games, but they're nowhere near, being a good team or even being a relevant team at this time. So, I get it why Chris Godwin wouldn't want to go to a team like that. And it's not like Drake May is terrible, but you just have to look at who's coaching the team, where you are with the supporting cast, and does the team have a future? Future isn't looking that bright. I do think May could end up being decent. Again, you got Drake May, you got Caleb Williams, you got J.J. McCarthy, which we haven't seen yet, but he'll be starting for the Vikings. And I guess they're just waiting for Aaron Rodgers to get the money sorted out so he can be Pittsburgh's starter, which is almost going to be inevitable at this point. There's really nobody left. So now there is no really, any bargaining that you could really go for. It's either Aaron Rodgers is your quarterback, or you figure out the draft and you go that direction, and you may have to trade up and whatnot. But there's still some names that will be floating around. Obviously with Jackson Dart and Shador Sanders and Cam Ward, but we don't really know how good these guys are going to be, and it kind of feels like they're going to need a good coach and good supporting cast to succeed. And if they don't have that, it could be pretty rough, for those guys, in the first couple of years. But we'll have to wait and see how it all plays out. Just like here in the game today with the Kraken and the Flames, and we got the Blazers coming up. And they're going against the Cavaliers, and that was the other option that I was thinking about doing for a stream. But I figured, I can end up doing this one since we are getting into Mariner season. This might be one of the last, Kraken streams that we do. So I want to make sure that we do a stream in a game that we actually maybe could win. And hopefully Shane Wright will be a part of that with Matty Beniers and Adam Larson. We'll see how that goes. And then the Blazer game will come on, and we'll see where it goes. I was, kind of thinking, maybe I would end up doing the Bucks, tomorrow, but since Dame is going to be out indefinitely, maybe for the rest of the year, that kind of throws that monkey wrench in the mix for me to do Bucks Nuggets tomorrow rather than just taking the day off. We could always do like an MLB preview, and just talk about, our teams and the matchups and projected starting lineup. So I guess I could kind of go that route. We've typically done that the day before opening day. But, I guess we'll have to wait and see. All right, they're doing the national anthem now. And again, hopefully we can find a way to get the dub here today. And as we get into Mariner season and MLB season, another reminder, if you have T-Mobile, make sure you sign up, through the T-Mobile app. You get MLB, the whole season for all the games. Some, games for your local team may be blacked out, but you get a lot of games that you can watch, and it's free, and it's like $150 value. It's like MLB extra innings. So I ended up signing up for that. So I got that. You get Netflix and you get Apple TV Plus, and on certain plans, they'll even give you Hulu for free. So not sure if, down the road, but again, time is running out for that. You have a few more days. I missed it by a day last year, even though it wasn't really going to benefit me for like the Mariners. But if it was something like Dodgers or one of your guys' favorite teams, then just having access to all of those games, in my free time or streaming on the channel. Root Sports came out with an app to do Mariner games for $20 a month, but who knows, what we're looking at for that, and that's not going to include Apple TV Plus or ESPN games. So I was slightly considering doing that, but that's kind of a spendy. It's not like I'm rich, and $20 a month. I might end up just doing, some streaming links here and there and whatnot, and going from that route. But, at some point, will I sign up for that just to see, like, is there a lag? Is there a delay? How does the picture look? Is the app going to work well? Is the streaming link going to work well through the Mariners? And again, I might end up trying it out for a month, but I probably won't use it for, the whole season unless donos start going up in a whole nother direction. So. Nice. Daniel in the building. What's good? David in the building. What's good? And we had a hot one here today. I got Paisley, got her nails trimmed and got her body washed. So she is a very, very happy girl, which always makes my heart feel great that I can go above and beyond for her. And it's a very hot day. It's almost like a summer day here in the mid 70s, but we're going to get about 5, 6, 7 days of rain right after this. So definitely excited to see the opportunity for the Kraken here today. Excited that Cal Raleigh extended. And again, the MLB, has a lot of teams. There aren't very many teams that have as bad of an owner as the Mariners. It's almost kind of like a Jerry Jones for the Cowboys. It's depressing, except we actually have better players on our team, and we actually can make the playoffs and do something. But again, you don't want to waste, these elite pitchers. And our core is pretty much set. Logan Gilbert will probably be next. But again, we have our core pretty much set, with the players. Now we just have to go out there and win a World Series, or at least just make the playoffs, win the AL West, and then, if we don't win that, get the wild card and then just go as far as we possibly can go. But definitely excited that we got Cal with a no trade clause for the next 6 years. And then after that's up, I hope that he plays his last contract the rest of his years for the Mariners. I hope he's a Mariner through and through. But, we'll have to kind of wait and see. But at least for the time being, I'll take it, for, the next 6 years. All right, here we go. Puck drop here with the Kraken and the Flames. And we need a fast start, baby. Larson, Maddie, and then my ultimate favorite, Shane Wright. Let's go, Shane. Bring that electricity, baby. Larson, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, Tolvanen. Let's go, baby. We've got a line change there. Come on, Ebbs. I got NXT on right now. We got Kraken and the Flames. Blazers are coming on in 50 minutes against the Cavs. Could get really ugly, I know, but again, we're not that far off from the play-in, which is kind of exciting. At least one of the two teams between the Kraken and the Blazers are going to do something, and then Mariners just right around the corner. Can't wait. And we'll be definitely doing a lot of coverage, which means probably a little less Kraken, a little less Blazers. I'm going to try to squeeze in Monday Night Raws as often as I can, as well as NASCAR Cup Series, but we'll be primarily focusing on the Mariners, from here until fall. So. Larson, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, Tolvanen, and we got Joey Decord in net, so we have a better chance to be able to get the dub here today. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We're shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and obviously 100 in the donos on every single stream. Let's go. Oh, just wide. Come on, Kraken. And this is definitely a winnable matchup for us. There's not too many teams that Seattle can say that they're better than. So hopefully we can get some good energy and get on the board first, I'm hoping. But even if we don't, again, it's definitely a lower scoring affair when we end up playing a team like this. The first time we played them, we won 2-1 in October in overtime. Then we played, obviously, at home again in February, and we lost 3-2. And then we played about a week later after that in February and won 3-2. So nobody has scored more than 3 goals in this affair. And the Kraken have won 2 out of 3 matchups, but we'll see if we can win 3 out of 4 before the time is up. Yeah. Next week will be the last day where we have an awkward time there in London. And then after that, it'll be regular time. So nice save by Joey Decord. Let's go. And after we saw what Philip Grubauer did, this is probably going to give us a good chance to get the dub here today. Let's go, Joey. Got to have a good day, baby. And then, Sarah, if you can give me a reminder in about 45 minutes when the Blazers are going to be on, I need to turn a link on for that as well. Come on, Shane. Ebb, Schwartz, Montour, Evans, and Wright. I like this line here. I just need more Shane Wright, man, especially if the team is going to be bottom 5 in the NHL. You got to be playing your best players that give you the best shot to win and that can actually score and assist better than the others on the team. Nice save. Nice job, Joey. But I'm happy that Cal Raleigh fired Boris, the agent, the kind of famous agent. There's a few big, agents that are pretty famous that get, the big dollars for their clients. But, it's not like, you're getting an agent where you're trying to maximize the money and you're just trying to go somewhere else. For him, Cal wanted to stay in Seattle, and going to another team wasn't really an option. So I'm glad that he ended up firing Boris and getting a better group. And, of course, they probably could have got a little bit more money, and whatnot, but you want the team to be great, and again, if you see what Julio ended up getting, in his big deal, there hasn't really been that many big deals the Mariners have had over, the last 25 years. I wonder if I still have that. All right, here we go. Cal Raleigh, 6-year, $105 million contract, sixth largest total in Mariners history. Number one, big mistake, Robinson Cano, $240 million after he was great for the Yankees. We knew that was a mistake. Julio Rodriguez, $209.3 million. I'm okay with that. Felix Hernandez, $175 million. I'm okay with that. Robbie Ray, $115 million. Mistake. Luis Castillo, $108 million. For the time being, we needed a pitcher like that, and bringing him in Julio's rookie year allowed us to actually make the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. So even though he has been progressively getting worse and worse since 2022, I'm okay with that deal. And then Cal Raleigh, $105 million. So again, Cal is, if we're really being honest, Cal is worthy of a deal of like Julio numbers, like $100 more million, if we're really being honest. But again, he might have to wait for a bigger deal after this deal is up. But no trade clause. I'm happy. And we want to make sure that we actually give ourselves a chance to win the AL West when we have a top two pitching staff in MLB. Phillies are great. Dodgers are great. Mariners are great. On the mound, mid relievers. We got Brash, Santos, Munoz. Everyone looks healthy. And now we just have to see if we can hit. And if we can hit, not 200 to 220, it's 230 to 250. That could be the difference between 5 to 10 more wins and the difference between winning the AL West with 90 games or missing the playoffs with maybe 85 or less, or getting a wild card with 88 or 89. So, I just want to be able to make the playoffs and see where we can go. And hopefully we can find the right combination of the guys to hit. And getting Rowdy Tellez on the lineup and being the DH. And, we had to let Mitch Haniger go, but if it's between, Tellez and being able to get Cal money instead of Haniger, I'm okay with that as well. Ebb, Schwartz, Larson, Dunn, and Wright. Let's go, baby. STL in the building. What's good, brother? Another line change. Ebb, Schwartz, Larson, Dunn, Shane Wright, Joey Decord in net. 2 shots on goal for the Flames, 1 for the Kraken. And you really don't ever know what you're going to get out of the Kraken. The Blazers, you kind of know what you're getting. They've actually turned the corner and turned the page. But one game, you could end up being down 2-0 and score 6 goals, unanswered, and then end up winning the matchup. Or, you could end up being the Seattle Kraken where you play a game and you get your ass kicked 4-0. So I'm hoping for the latter, and we can end up winning this 3-2 today. Shot is deflected and wide. Still here in the first period, almost halfway through, about 12 minutes to go here in the first period. Kraken and Flames. Let's go. Kako, Beniers, Nyman, Alexiak, and Fleury. Stay aggressive, Seattle. Come on, Kako. Come on, Beniers. There we go. Nice save by Joey Decord. Nice job, Joey. MLB TV, baby. We got All Ego Ethan Page. Too bad Ricky isn't able to use Ricky Starks. That sounds a lot better than, Ricky Saints, or any other, last name that they can use. But obviously when you have a trademark, a lot of times they're not willing to let that go. So Alexiak, Fleury, Kakko, Beniers, Nyman. Yeah, nice to see the Blues. They're like, every few years they end up being, pretty good. Sometimes they end up being kind of, on the bottom 10 or 15. I wouldn't say bottom 5 like the Kraken, because really the Kraken are, one of those select teams where, we're really the bottom of the barrel. If we're really being honest, like the Blazers have made some strides. The Kraken still, have a long ways to go. And if you think about it, like, we're better than the San Jose Sharks, right? So we're better than them. We're better than the Chicago Blackhawks, right? We're better than Nashville, and maybe Anaheim, and that's about it. So definitely, got a long ways to go. Reflect in the building. What's good? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang, $5 holla. Appreciate you. 95 to go. And again, I honestly didn't know that he fired Boris until this morning. So again, it's one of those things where I feel that, management was cheap, right? And again, in your perspective, management wasn't going to pay. So he was going to walk and he was going to go somewhere else where they would pay him, even though he wants to be in Seattle. But again, letting Mitch Haniger go, getting Rowdy Tellez, in the lineup was great. And again, I think Cal's worth more money than he got, and I just went over, the biggest deals that the Mariners have given out. And some are disgusting and some are, kind of relevant. But 6 years, $105 million is a discount, if you ask me, because I think he's the best, catcher. Even if he wasn't on the Mariners, based on what I've seen, no bias, I think he's the best catcher. Like, yeah, your batting average might be low, but again, the only other two guys that have over $100 million contracts as catcher, JT Realmuto and Will Smith. And honestly, I think those guys are good, but I would personally rather have Cal. Now, the number one deal, Robinson Cano, $240 million. Obviously coming from the Yankees when he was still good, terrible deal. Julio, 209.3, we like that. Felix, $175 million, we like that. Robbie Ray, another mistake like Robinson Cano, $115 million. Luis Castillo, $108 million. And obviously based on how he's played from, the Julio rookie season, that he helped us get to the playoffs, but he's progressively getting worse and worse and worse. So that deal is kind of like 50-50. He hasn't really panned out for that money. He did in that year that he came over, but progressively he's been getting kind of worse. And then at $105 million, you have Cal Raleigh. So it's not like the Mariners really spend the money, but if you're going to spend, and again, hopefully we do it with George Kirby and Logan Gilbert, you got to give guys like that money. I don't want to see Wu or Bryce Miller leaving the team either. But to me, Cal is the most important guy on the team, and at least we get to see him for the next 6 years. No trade clause, which is awesome. And then, we'll hopefully, when that contract is up, depending on if we have won a World Series or gotten to an ALCS, ALDS, or World Series at that time, hopefully that last contract of his career, he'll be with the Mariners. I would love for him to be a Mariner for life. He's already interviewed and said he'd love to be a Mariner for life. And again, nice shot, wide. But again, Scott Service didn't back him up when he made comments and whatnot, and I know that pissed a lot of people off. So it's cool to actually get something done when we end up having kind of a cheap ass like a Jerry Jones, in the NFL. That's kind of like the closest thing that we can kind of compare it to. Ownership is terrible for the Cowboys. Ownership is terrible for the Mariners, but they at least did one thing right. And giving this money to Cal. And if you really think about it, 6 years, $105 million, that's a discount. The Cal could definitely get, more than that, 150 to 200 mil, even just based on how he's played. I mean, the guy averages 30 home runs a season, right? He's one of the best defensive catchers. Yes, his hitting needs to improve. He needs to be able to see the ball better, maybe not go for, moonshots all the time and go for more singles and doubles. I think we can all agree with that. A lot of people's batting averages need to be better, not just Cal Raleigh's, but I think that it's pretty exciting. And now me and Justin, my best friend, at some point we probably will invest, in a Cal Raleigh jersey, knowing now that for the most part he might end up being here for a good chunk of his career. Again, there's others that I would love to have: Randy Johnson, Ichiro, Edgar Martinez. I don't have any of those guys yet, but if I was going to get a player that was on the squad, it definitely would be Big Dumper. And great news to be able to get that deal done before the season started, to give us a little bit more life and a little bit more hope and a little bit more excitement. So. Oh, and the Flames score. 1-0 Flames. Klapka, assisted by Kevin Rooney. 1-0 Flames. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Oh, nice. Hey, if you ain't first, you're last, baby. We're at 5:95 to go. Yeah, I mean, he was number one, number two. It was kind of going back and forth pretty much the whole year, but for a good chunk of the year, he was the top guy. So, not JT in the building. Hey, I noticed that you ended up sending me a dono after the stream ended. I ended up seeing that. So if there's anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise, any type of conversation we get into, regardless if it's hockey related or whatever I'm doing stream-wise, you can go right ahead. I don't really have any issues with that. It always makes the stream a little bit more interesting anyways when we can go over things like that. So if there's anything that you want to see photo-wise, let me know. And shout out to A-Guy. A-Guy, as you guys know, Raiders fan, he'll pop in during football season. He's working nights, and he actually sent me a $5 dono just as an appreciation dono. Like if you go to YouTube, there's when you watch a video or a live stream after it's over, it does give you an option to donate even after the stream is over. And A-Guy has done that. We've only gotten a couple of those, on the channel, over the time of me doing this. Typically $5 or $10 and whatnot. But shout out to A-Guy. Appreciate you. Even though he's working nights, I know he's watching the streams to kind of pass the time. And for him to be able to do that was cool. And shout out to Not JT as well. Sorry I didn't get a chance to give you a photo at the end of that other stream, but I didn't even see the dono until I checked my phone until after it was over. Appreciate you as well. How are you, my guy? Yes, 100% agreed. Montour. All right, offsides. But again, we don't really get a lot of times where we're celebrating, in the Pacific Northwest. A lot of times it's heartache and heartbreak, or, oh God, the ownership didn't do anything, or, oh God, we just let an all-star player, go to another team and we got nothing in return, and it's kind of nice, that the Mariner organization actually did something great, and again, we don't want to waste, what we have, with this pitching staff, with Miller and Wu and Gilbert and Kirby, and then, obviously Castillo. Hancock needs to be better. We got Durangelo at some point. He might be a mid-reliever. Brash looked good. He had a couple Ks, making his first appearance. Then you got Santos. Then you got Munoz. Maybe we get Durangelo in there at some point in the sixth inning, even after Brash or before him. I'm excited to see where this goes. With the Cal signing, that may mean that, Harry Ford might be a guy that we are looking to trade now, even though before, when me and Reflect were talking, we were thinking, maybe they'll keep Harry Ford and maybe Cal will go somewhere else, if they weren't going to pay him. But now with Cal getting the money, I think Harry Ford becomes a little bit more expendable. But if I'm being real, I want to keep Harry Ford. Again, backup catcher, will be better than Garver. And again, you can use him as DH, and then you could use him in a couple other positions. But we'll see, how it all plays out. And, there's a lot of others that are in that farm, Montez, Celestin, and looking at Young and Emerson, we may get one or two of those guys, that get called up. And a few of them have a little bit higher ceiling than the others, but we'll definitely see where it goes. Right now, we're down 1-0 to the Flames. Hopefully, we can get something going here. Joey Decourt in net. Adam Klepka with the goal, assisted by Kevin Rooney. But this is an amazing day for Pacific Northwest sports, and especially if you're a Mariner fan. Again, there's only 3 players that are getting $100 million at catcher. Will Smith for the Dodgers, JT Realmuto for the Phillies, and now Cal Raleigh. And again, Cal's good enough, in my opinion, where he could have gotten a $150 to $200 million deal. He's the most valuable player on the team, in my opinion. And to get 6 years, 105, that's a discount. And again, I'm so excited that we're going to have Cal Raleigh for many, many, many more years. And hopefully in the next 6 years, we'll be able to make it, to the ALDS, ALCS, and hopefully the World Series. Let's go, Kraken. Megan in the building. How are you? Figured since Mariner season is right around the corner, I had an opportunity to do either this or the Blazers. And I figured, Blazers are going to be on in a half hour. But if I do the early stream, this will give us an opportunity to show some love for Megan and anyone that appreciates the Kraken or the NHL. Because once we get into baseball season, they'll be doing a little bit less. It's not like we're going to eliminate the Blazers and the Kraken, Monday Night Raw, NASCAR Cup Series races completely. But Xfinity Series races and truck races will probably be eliminated for the most part, just because we have so many other things going on. Mariners are going to be the priority, but again, I'm still going to try to do a little bit of everything to give that good variety here on the channel. So, good save. Yes, absolutely. It's a great day. And I don't know if it's just because of the catchers. It's Zunino's birthday today, too. So I don't know what it is with this particular day. But again, I'm really, really happy. I mean, even if they gave him big money like Julio, I don't care. It's just cool to see the, ownership spending money. Maybe Mitch Haniger was a part of that, having to, relieve that salary to be able to give this money. But again, I don't think anyone hated Mitch. I think Mitch Haniger was one of those guys, he was a fan favorite for the most part. He did have some struggles, and whatnot, but I don't think he was one of those guys that was not really liked overall. I think he was, one of the fan guys. And sometimes, when guys get a little older, you got to make a tough decision, and if it comes down to Mitch Haniger getting cut, and then we can give Cal Raleigh money to keep him on the team for the next 6 years and make room for Rowdy Tellez, that's the fucking proper move. We had guys like Mike Ford, Carlos Santana, Jared Vogelback, right? Oh, no save. And then now we got Rowdy Tellez. I don't know what it is about these guys that are thick, but I love them. And again, they may strike out a lot, but we will be able to get some home runs and some big plays. And hopefully Rowdy will be, a key component. Because again, always going into the year, we typically are scratching our head and saying, who is DH? And now, as the season opens, we already have our DH. We don't have to wait 80 games to put in Mike Ford. So this will be interesting to see how it goes. But Rowdy Tellez had a good spring, and he earned the spot on the team. I'm happy that they did that. Less than 5 minutes to go here in the first period. Ebbs, Schwartz, Larson, Dunn, Shane Wright. Let's go. Yeah, I mean, talking about the M's and good decisions, that's not usually something that we say together in a sentence when we message each other, So it's pretty cool to see, and what's crazy too, you're starting to kind of feel the hype train from outside of the Pacific Northwest. If you're looking at other outlets and other, fan bases, they see what we're doing. They still might be a hater, towards Cal, like you don't watch the Mariners and you think that we overpaid. That shows me that, those people have never watched the Mariners. They don't watch Cal. They don't understand. You're just going to get trolls and haters that don't watch and they think they know, right? But the only way you're really going to know is if you actually watch the games, from beginning to end. And it's definitely exciting. I feel, the potential, again, 90 wins, it should be what we shoot for, 90 and 72. If we don't hit 90, we want to be shooting for 88 or 89, 90 to win the division, 88 to 89 to get a wild card. Because if you get any less than that, you're probably not going to make it. if we're really being honest, if you get 87, 86, 85 wins, you're probably just barely going to miss the playoffs. And that's usually what the Mariners do, right? We either make the playoffs like we did, in Julio's rookie year, right? Or we barely miss it by 1, 2, 3 games. And again, if the injuries can be a minimum, we should be able to compete for the divisional crown. And I hope that we can win the AL West. I hope Brash can stay healthy. I hope Kirby doesn't have any more setbacks with the shoulder inflammation. Hopefully he's only going to be out for a couple weeks. But again, if someone may have a year that's, a little bit worse than we're expecting, it may be George Kirby just because of the shoulder. But other than that, we don't have a whole lot of faith in Emerson Hancock, not a lot of faith in Luis Castillo, but I think Wu, Miller, Gilbert are going to be outstanding. And hopefully when Kirby is healthy, he'll be outstanding as well. And again, we have enough, I feel, with the moves that we made in the offseason, even though we would want some more bigger names. We were hitting as one of the top 2 teams in spring training. It didn't lead to a lot of wins. We were one of the, bottom 4 or 5 teams compared to wins, because obviously once you start bringing in these other minor league pitchers, you can get rocked when you're up like 6-1 and you can end up losing 13 to, 6 or whatever. But I think that the potential is there. And we should have a very good chance to do some damage here for the Pacific Northwest. And I'm definitely very excited to get going on that on Thursday at 7. A's and Mariners be here. Yeah, I've been itching for baseball streams. I had to give you guys a couple spring training, matchups, but now, the ones that are the real deal, we get to see, Lawrence Butler. We get to see Brett Rooker. I really enjoy talented players, even if they're on the other team. And again, the Mariner ownership obviously has fucked up many, many, many times, but at least they did one good thing, with Cal Raleigh. And again, I think that for all the bitching and moaning and complaining that we do towards ownership, we can at least take a pause with the Cal Raleigh extension. And, I haven't heard anybody with anything negative to say. If anything, it was a discounted deal that Cal took, and hopefully that extra money will be able to go, to Logan Gilbert or George Kirby, whoever is next on getting the money. Yeah, I'm so excited, man. I can't wait. And again, everyone knows I'm going to be the main guy on YouTube doing Mariners. So hopefully we'll be able to get some good growth, on the channel, doing the Mariners. And again, it looks like the team is going to be good. We're not going to be a shitty team. So the hype is high, going into the season. Oh, nice save. Nice glove save by DeCord. Go, Joey. Way to bring that electricity early. You already gave up 1, but again, the finals have been, relatively low scoring. So, the first matchup was 2-1 Kraken in October. Then we lost at home 3-2 in February. A week later, we lost again 3-2 in February, but in overtime. So 2 out of the 3 matchups have led to overtime. The most goals that have been scored is 3. The lowest is 1. So, we're probably going to get a similar score. Hopefully we can win this 3-2 here tonight. Reflect with a 5-er. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Appreciate you very, very much. Took Paisley to get her nails trimmed and dremeled. Prices are going up on that as well. It used to cost me $30. Then it was $35. Now it's $40. But again, to make sure that she's clean, happy, healthy, that's definitely makes me happy. So she had a very productive day. She's very, very happy. And we got summer-like weather here today. But after today, we're going to have a week worth of rain. And Reflect is going to have some major thunderstorms where he lives. Be safe out there. I still got to exercise, even though we get dumped on with the rain. And some of that great-smelling shampoo is going to wear off on Paisley's body, but at least she'll be able to feel somewhat clean, for at least a day or 2 before that big, heavy rains come. But, maintenance for the pup is definitely needed. Yes. 100%. Hancock coming in for Kirby is not ideal. And they have Castillo listed as the 2. So it's like they're going to have Gilbert 1, Castillo 2, and then I believe they'll go probably Bryce Miller 3, Brian Wu 4, and then Hancock 5. I don't know if I would have Castillo at the 2 unless they're thinking that, he's kind of shaky, instead of going with our 3 best and then having 2 weak guys at the 4 and the 5 hole. Maybe that's what their mindset is. Maybe go from a win to a loss to a couple wins with Miller and Wu, and then another loss with Hancock possibly. Maybe that's the scheming of it and whatnot. But I don't know. I think, Wu could end up being the best pitcher on the squad this year. It could be Bryce Miller. Again, Logan Gilbert, we already know that he's good, but I feel like Wu and Miller could have a big year. And Gilbert's always been steady and great, and Kirby's always been steady and great. We just need Castillo to be better, Hancock to be better, and then again, see if we can get someone to come up in mid-relief like Durangelo. I would love to be able to see a pitcher pitch left and then pitch right, which we got to see a little bit. But most people don't really know too much about him just yet. Yes, thank you so much. We're at 10, 90 to go. We got 2 minutes left here in the first period. 1-0 Flames. Adam Klapka, assisted by Kevin Rooney. And again, we got Decord in net, so we have a better chance of winning than if Grubauer was in. And then the Blazers are coming on in 20 minutes against the Cavs. It could get ugly, just like when we played the Celtics, but it's a good test to kind of see where the Blazers are at. And they're only like 3 games out for the play-in for the 10th seed. There's only 30 teams in the NBA compared to 32 in the NFL, 15 and 15. So if you want to get to the play-in, you have to be a top 10 team. Back in the day, it was only the top 8 that would get in, right? And then this play-in is something extra that they've added as of late. Did read an interesting article on how March Madness has been getting good ratings, and the NBA has lost 75% of their ratings since 1998. No surprise there. Basketball, is still exciting to some, but again, it's just not the NBA. So it shows you, like, people enjoy college basketball and March Madness, but, the NBA, not so much. But again, we already knew that, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to know that, ratings have dipped more in that sport than any other sport out of the 4 major sports combined. Facts. Ebbs, Montour, Kako, Beniers, and Nyman. Let's go. Come on, Kraken. 1-on-2. Wow. What an amazing maneuver right there. It was 1-on-3, and the Flame player just tried to take on all 3 and skated right past him. Went in kind of a half circle. Had a pretty good shot on net, but Decord was there. That would have been bad if they would have scored there, being down 2-0. But again, I don't expect it to be high scoring. Could end up being just like the other 3 matchups. The highest goal count is 3. The lowest is 1. So we're not going to get shut out. But again, we need to make sure that we put ourselves in the best position to try to win this, or at least be competitive. End of the first period, and Kraken got the power play as we go into the second period. 1-0 Calgary. Reflect anything that you want to be able to see photo-wise? This is what he wants to see. He wants to see this, baby. Cal Raleigh. Let's go. And it's like one of those things, when you and me, we end up having like predictions and whatnot. Sometimes it's okay to be wrong when it benefits the team. And like not every prediction that I have or you have, are going to be correct. But it's just nice to be wrong when it benefits the team. And again, if they had Boris still, maybe he gets more money and, maybe negotiations go sour, and Boris pisses off, the ownership and Stanton, and maybe they say, fuck it, but after he fired Boris 4 months ago, good move there. You got the right group in, took a little bit of a discounted deal. And again, I'm happy that Cal will be a Mariner with a no trade clause for the next 6 years. That's going to maximize our pitching staff tremendously. Could you imagine if we had Mitch Garver, being our regular catcher? We would lose, without Cal Raleigh on the team. to me, that's 10 to 15 losses. Easy, without having a player like that defensively, calling games, throwing guys out at first and second, as well as the vibe and leadership that he has with all of the pitching staff. So I think Julio obviously will always be popular, right? We already know Julio will always be a guy that'll be on Topps baseball cards. Maybe they'll do a video game with his face and his jersey on the cover, his image on the cover. But at the end of the day, our pitching staff is elite. We love Logan. We love Kirby. We love Wu. We love Miller. We love those guys. But to me, this is the most valuable piece, and I'm so thankful that we're going to be able to keep him, here in Seattle. And at some point, I don't know when, but me and my best friend will be investing in Cal Raleigh jerseys at some point. Obviously, I have no money for that at the moment, but if I were to get another jersey for the Mariners, it definitely will be Cal Raleigh. Let's go. So excited. We don't really say Mariners and excited too often, but let's go. And it's funny, too, when you get people, that don't know baseball and the only thing they look at is average. If you're only looking at average, that only tells a part of the story, and now with all the metrics and the analytics, batting average might have been one of the key component stats from back in the day, but again, there's a lot more that's involved than just batting average. I mean, you could end up batting 300, but what happens if you bat 300, but you only have 8 home runs and you're horrible at defense and you're not a good leader? Then is that the player that we would want? Someone that bats 300 but can't hit home runs and is shitty defensively and isn't a leader? So again, people have to look at, these different types of categories, and, batting average does matter, but that's not the sole factor that equates to a player being good or bad. Facts. Love me some Cal, baby. And we're at intermission now, so we'll just get a few photos up while we're waiting. I got NXT up. Blazers are on in 15 minutes. Let's go, Big Dumper. And we'll be debuting a lot of brand new photos in 2025, and obviously still be using some of the ones that we had in 2024. And maybe even some old school ones from 2023. We'll have to wait and see. I'm always going to be looking for the new stuff, but sometimes it takes a little time for the photographers to get that work in. Here's Cal, just like every Mariner fan, including me and Reflect. We are happy, baby. Let's go. Yeah. Stay safe out there. Seems like it's pretty crazy coming up in the next few days. I mean, I'm more excited about Cal staying than the Julio deal. Like, Julio, was awesome, and he's always going to, give you the popularity and the smiles, and you got Robles and Rosarina out there, and I think that'll help him out, this particular season, but again, people don't realize, if you don't have a good catcher, Again, Cal is calling a lot of these games. So you have to realize that when the pitcher goes out there, in baseball, they're not calling the game themselves. A lot of times, you're actually getting the catcher that's calling the game, based on film and based on, just the comfort level with that particular pitcher. Now sometimes, back in the day, you would get certain pitchers that earn the right with the catcher that they had to kind of call their own pitches, Nolan Ryan, Greg Maddux, guys like that. But for the most part, the catchers are calling pretty much, most of the game. Is there going to be times where some pitchers, nod off, yes or no? There's going to be a little bit of pushback, but they're typically the catcher is going to know what's going to be the best pitch based on that hitter and based on what that person has for stuff, four-seam fastball, curveball, sinker, whatever it may be. So, we haven't really had a catcher like this, and we want to make sure that we maximize, this time that we have with this elite pitching staff, top 2, top 3, with the Phillies and the Dodgers and the Mariners, and hopefully we can stay healthy and we can go on a nice playoff run, including now Raleigh. Let's go. Anything else that you want to be able to see photo-wise? Not JT, you anything that you want to see photo-wise from your dono? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's going to be very easy to be able to see the challenges that we're going to get this year as well. It's going to add a new wrinkle to the game. And hopefully, we don't play Scott Service ball. We play Dan Wilson, Edgar Martinez ball, and we need to be more aggressive, on the bases, as well. I need to see bunting, as a regular thing. I need to see Victor Robles even leading off bunting. I need to be able to see more bunting, on the actual, regular rotation. And I need to see more base stealing, but it has to be, calculated. We just can't have guys lollygagging, from first to second, thinking they're going to be safe every time. And again, if we can be better, at stealing bags, bunting, getting guys over, that could definitely help us win 5 to 10 more games or more. And hopefully, having a healthy Randy, a healthy Julio, and a healthy Victor Robles in the outfield with a healthy Cal at catcher could really pay dividends. Luke Raley at first, obviously, at second base and shortstop, if we end up having Bliss or JP Crawford or whoever they decide to go there. Jorge Polanco looks like a whole nother player. He ended up having these new circular stunner shades that kind of look like Matrix style. And again, I don't know, some guys that get LASIK, like Jameis Winston, it improves, their overall play. Sometimes you have to get glasses, contacts, you end up having a procedure, whatever it may be. But Jorge Polanco is actually hitting the ball better. He's hitting home runs. He actually looks like he's having fun out there. I still don't know defensively how he's going to look at third base, after going from Eugenio Suarez to Josh Rojas to now this Polo experiment. But if he plays like he did in the spring training or close to that, we may not have to worry as much about third base than a lot of us were thinking, going into the year. But again, we'll have to kind of wait and see approach. But really, first, second, third, and shortstop, that's the liability. And if those positions, do better than we expect, that could be the difference between us making the playoffs or not making the playoffs, or sending guys down and then making room for farm guys to come up and challenge guys like Bliss, Dylan Moore, JP Crawford, or Polo at certain positions, at second base, shortstop, or possibly at third. So we'll have to kind of wait and see, but hopefully we can find the right combination moving forward. Oh, no worries. I understand. Keep your head up. Appreciate you. We're at 10. 90 to go. I got NXT on. Blazers coming on here in 7 minutes against the Cavs. Hopefully we don't get fucking obliterated. Shout out to Damian Lillard. He's got a blood clot in his leg. Sounds pretty serious. He's out indefinitely. Might be out for the rest of the regular season and possibly the postseason. Shout out to the former Portland Trailblazer, Damian Lillard. Hopefully he'll be able to recover from that. And we are still at intermission, down 1-0, but we definitely can come back. Larson, Hayden, Gunn, Eismont, and Tolvanen once we get going back into the action. And let's see here. I'm not used to having it being so warm here. A summer day. Like I actually ended up wearing just like a t-shirt and shorts, today, which I haven't done in a long, long time. I mean, I just wore like a windbreaker and shorts last night late, and it was so comfortable. But after today, we're going to get about 5 to 6, 7 days of rain. So, I got to soak in this good weather while we have it. How long did it take you to recover from your blood clot that you had? And did you have it in your leg or did you have it in your arm? Or was it in a different location? Oh, you busted out the lawnmower? My guy. Did you get attacked by the neighbor's dogs? Was there a bunch of dog shit everywhere? Hopefully not. Hey, get that backyard mode is always good. Yeah, we had a big arm of a tree that snapped, and we haven't really had anything like that. I mean, a lot of the trees that we have here are pretty big, and they've been here since I've, been here for 30, 40 years at this property. We've, had this property here since I think 87, since I was 5, and, probably a 15-foot to 20-foot arm of a tree snapped off, in front of my bedroom window. It gives me more visibility now down in the neighborhood where I can look down out my window, which is nice. But again, something that I'm going to have to, get a saw and kind of cut up these different pieces that are back there. Kind of crazy to have a big arm of a tree, just naturally come off. Obviously, probably diseased, not getting as much nutrients. Maybe there's some bug infestation that inside the tree made it get so weak. But we had some, pretty high winds, within the last few weeks, but nothing that you would assume that would break off an arm of a tree that is pretty good size, not like a thin arm, that came off of a tree. I mean, we're talking good size. So a little shocking. It's never happened at our property before, but yeah, that'll be some extra work that I'll have to definitely do. Yeah, super hot for March 25th. I mean, we're 75 here, 73 to 75. So. Yeah, I know Dame is on blood thinners right now. And hopefully he'll be healthy there. Scary thought, though. To hit you with this HD 4K background. Larson looking good. Very crispy. Yeah, Wemby. Yeah, Wemby with the blood clot, now Dame. Deep vein thrombosis for the DVT. The breakdown of that. Jump shot, I assume, not jumpsuit, but I got you. I was like, oh, I gotta find Jordan in a jumpsuit in the Jordan brand sweats with a fadeaway. Let me dig. All right, let me see what I can find. Gosh, I can't believe that baseball season's finally almost here. Seems like it's been such a long wait. I got to find something better. I just wanted to see if that was going to format or not, but that one is not up to par. Let's see if we can even find any that are up to my standard. Every one that I've clicked on, there's some pretty cool ones, but they're not formatting, unfortunately. Yeah, a lot of the jump shot ones that are like at least like worthy. There's one of him doing one over Ray Allen and a few others, but the quality is not up to par. Not up to par, unfortunately. A little too blurry. Or maybe we'll just find something Michael Jordan in general. I mean, I can find some good Jordan stuff. Like if you want Jordan, I give you something better than a Jordan jump shot. And we're going to get into the second period here in a moment. Clean, baby. Get a couple photos in here for JT. Appreciate you. All right, we're getting into the second period now. Larson, Hayden, Dunn, Eismont, Tolvanen. Let's go, baby. We need an MJ kind of performance here for the Kraken. Come on now. Stand with Ukraine in the building. What's good? No worries, brother. Glad that you're here. Stand with Ukraine in the building. What's good? Appreciate that, Sarah. Every dollar counts, and I appreciate it. You know, whether it's a $5 or a $10, you know, that stuff, you know, really helps out for Paisley. So, as well as just, you know, the basic stuff, just the internet bill, the streaming bill, you know, to be able to stream with the program, you know, just the basic stuff to continue doing this. So, Sarah with a $5. Appreciate you. What do you want to do for your photo? You want some Cardinals or you want some St. Louis Blues on their hot streak? You let me know. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Bringing that electricity, appreciate you. And then for anyone that is in the room, I mentioned this earlier, if anyone has T-Mobile as a provider and you end up, you know, downloading the app and having your, you know, account through the app, you can get Netflix for free, depending on the plan that you have. You can get Apple TV Plus for free, and on some of them, you'll even be able to get Hulu for free. I personally have Netflix and Apple TV Plus for free, but you can also get MLB TV for free. Now, it may not have some of the Mariners stuff, since the Mariners are doing their own app, for like $20 a month. We'll see, if that ends up being, worthy enough. I know most Mariner fans don't want to spend $20 a month on it. And, is it going to have any type of delay? Because if it ends up having a slight delay, most people can just do a free streaming link. Even if they're like, 5-10 seconds behind, they won't care. Being 10 seconds behind or paying $20 a month, most people will take being 10 seconds behind, but I might end up, if I can't get it on that MLB TV, I might sign up for it for like a month to see, compared to the streaming links, is the picture better? Is the audio better? Is it actually live, or is there a delay on it? Compared to what I have in the living room on Comcast or Xfinity. And once I buy it maybe for a month, then I can kind of decide, okay, is this something that, if the donos get a little bit better, that maybe I can try to do this, or maybe go another avenue and whatnot. But I think the price is a little too high, though. They should have made it for like $10 a month. And if they did $10 a month, you would get more people instead of doing 20 and getting limited people. You make it $10 a month, then you actually would get some people that, would be on the fence, but they would say, fuck it, all right, I'll do it. But making it 20, you're making it, a little bit too expensive. But, it is what it is. Robert Thomas, I got you. Megan with a 20, appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Let me know what I can do for you. And it doesn't have to be, Kraken related. It could be like music related, like Brian May or someone that you haven't seen on stream in a while to kind of bring a smile to your face. We can always do something like that. So you let me know and I got you. Montour, Kako, Beniers, Evans, and Nyman. Let me get the Robert Thomas here going as well. Montour with interference. Fuck. All right, I got to get the Blazer game on here as well. All right, Blazers and Cavs. All right, got that on now as well. I got multiple things going on here. Let's get the Robert Thomas here for Sarah, and then we can get some for Megan here as well. I got an all-star photo that's kind of cool that hasn't been seen by too many. Let's see if I can get you one more. Come on, Kraken. Only down 1-0. Appreciate you. Every dollar counts, and I appreciate the uptick in support. I know that you've had some debt and you've had some things that you've had to try to pay back and things like that. But again, every $1, $5, $10 dono that you've done lately has really helped. And again, we need, when you get one person, then it leads to another and then another, and it ends up being kind of a snowball effect. And again, obviously, you just want to be able to not be at a zero on anything. You want to be at least at something. And I appreciate every single person in the room that has donated, commented, shared, anything that they can do positively to help this channel grow. I salute you guys, and I really appreciate you guys very, very much. 1-0 Calgary. Larson, Alexiak, McCann, Tolvanen. Joey DeCord still in net. I got you. Well, you want the Kermit stuff based off the doll that you got that was like passed down from back in the day and whatnot. It's like when we had that conversation, I got a pretty good memory on things with people in the room. Just like when I ended up getting my grandma who's passed away, her original G.I. Joe, and it's not like one of the 2 or 3 inch G.I. Joes from like the 80s with all the weapons. These are like the ones that are super big that have like boots that can be removed, and it's more of like a doll. And they were back like in the 50s and the 60s, like that type. It's got like tan, different clothes and whatnot. And it's always cool when you can see like those old school, dolls or toys that are vintage. So asking for Kermit, there's nothing wrong with that. If it gives you a little bit of memory of that particular item, no request is a dumb request. So big save. Wolf with the save. We almost got him there. I mean, like I said, this platform is not only just, for me, but the platform, is for you guys. And again, it's a way to be able to express yourself, on a channel where you're not really able to do that anywhere else. So, and if I can make an individual crack a half a smile or smile based on something that they can be able to see, it's worth it to me. So anything else that you want to be able to do besides going this route? You got another type of thing that you would like to be able to see? I got you. Let me sprinkle in one more here and we'll get back to the action and get some more things to load up. 1-0 Flames. We're at 35, 65 to go. Good defense there by the Flames. Come on, Kraken. Simon Sharp, Advia, Tumani Camaro, Donovan Klingon, Darius Garland, Sam Merrill, Max Strus. Let's go. Donovan Mitchell, I see you. You got a musician or something like music related that you want to be able to see? Sure. Man, it's so hot in here. Just a tip of the iceberg of what I'm going to have to get used to as we get into spring and summer and fall temperatures when I'm grinding here doing Mariners. All right, come on, Blazers. Sure, I got you. And we got some, pretty good programming coming up. You got Stranger Things this year, the show You, that does like all of the murders and whatnot. That's going to be wrapping up, and that show will be over. Andor, another one is coming out pretty soon. So there's going to be quite a few, things that should be pretty interesting that will be coming out in the next, few months. And I'm definitely going to be locking in and tapping into all of those things. If something is new and it comes out, I'm going to watch it. And not everything is going to probably, live up to the expectations of everyone, but I've definitely enjoyed those, and hopefully they end with a bang. I've seen some crazy clips on White Lotus. I don't watch it, but I've seen some very kind of sus clips on there, to say the least. But it definitely looks like something that down the road, that I might end up watching at some point or another. $10-7 Blazers. Let's go, baby. Yeah, I can't wait when we get another season of The Mandalorian. To me, that's always been the best spinoff, out of all of the spinoffs. HU. I have seen that they started to be a little bit more creative with bobbleheads now. Like they have a Julio where instead of like the head bobbling, the bat is flipped and you can spin the bat. I saw another one where from another team where they have a catcher and instead of the head bobble, it's the actual mitt, like in the strike zone and whatnot. So they're definitely kind of going outside of the box, with the bobbleheads where you may have like arms or legs or gloves or bats that are the movable part. But I think that's kind of neat, instead of just a traditional, bobblehead, which is always going to be the fan favorite where you can see the head move. But if you can get the head to move and another item, or if they keep the head stationary and then they have another piece of the body, that moves and bobbles, kind of cool. And definitely excited. They have a life-size Julio at the park right now. And again, I ended up seeing a post on it where you can like take a picture. It's like 6 foot tall replica, and they're going to end up doing that this year. And the bat spins, like after Julio hits a home run, and he throws the bat, and you can, kind of flip your finger, and then the bat will rotate on a stand next to Julio. Pretty cool. I like the innovation when I see stuff like that. Schwartz, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, and Shane Wright. We got about 11 minutes to go here in the second period. Let's go, Kraken. Yeah, I think really, if we're really being honest, I don't think the NBA product can recover. Again, if you get people that don't want to actually work, and they feel that, these guys are overpaid and entitled and they don't really care, and if the players don't care, then why are the fans going to care? And again, it's all about passion and effort. And if you are the only sport that doesn't have passion and effort besides maybe the playoffs, you're in a hurting, and again, with the All-Star game, it's really simple. Go back to a rookie-sophomore game for the first event on Friday, where you have rookies going against second-year players, right? When you end up doing the skills, the dunk, and the three, you actually get the best players to do it. So you end up getting, like the LeBrons, or even a guy that might be injury prone, like eating cheeseburgers like Zion, but he can dunk. But you got to get like the big names to do all of the events, and then in the NBA All-Star game, I don't know if you have to bribe them. The winning team gets, $5 million or whatever, but if that's what it takes, and again, you have to play defense. It has to be, you're not doing all these alley-oops and, 360 dunks. You have to lay it down where this has to be a defensively hard-fought game, and again, if you ended up having a game that wasn't an all-star game that ended 102-100 instead of getting a game that's 185-167, people would love that. People would love to be able to see the defense and be able to see the actual effort, because then the dunks and the threes would mean more when they end up happening, instead of people just not caring, and you get one 360 dunk after another and no one gives a shit, including the fans. So I don't really know. The players obviously wouldn't be down for it, and it also doesn't help that David Stern is no longer alive, and obviously being the commissioner, because obviously Adam Silver, he's not a very good commissioner. I mean, he's trying his best, but I feel like with the NBA, it really starts, with the players. And if the players don't show passion or effort, then obviously the fans and everyone around the product doesn't care. And, if that's how it's going to be, then you're never going to get it to improve. Again, the last time the dunk contest was actually really, really good, besides modern day, was back like in the 80s and 90s when you had Clyde and Larry Nance and Jordan and Dominique. And then we've seen a few with like Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine going at it, which was like, pretty exciting. Vince Carter. So there's been a few guys, but they haven't really been able to consistently have like really good, dunkers or good players do it. And again, if you ended up having some of the big name guys do it, instead of just wanting to enjoy, the All-Star break period and then just play in the game itself. But again, we've seen the Pro Bowl. It no longer matters. NHL All-Star Game and MLB All-Star Game are the best. But again, if the NBA players continue to not care, then no one else is going to care either. And that's just the sad truth to it. It's the only sport that doesn't have effort or passion. And again, we can still root for certain teams, certain players, but it definitely is not the same. And like I said at the beginning of the show, I read an article that said that the NBA has lost 75% of viewership since '98, and that was when Jordan ended. And again, you had glimpses until maybe about 2010 where you could still watch it while Kobe was still around. But for the last 15 years, a lot of games are almost unwatchable unless you have a favorite team or a favorite player. And even then, sometimes it's unwatchable. So, boom, there we go. Nice goal there for the Kraken. 1-1, baby. Yes. Jaden Schwartz, let's go. Assisted by Jared McCann and Andrei Burakovsky. Let's go. I mean, hell, Savannah Bananas, where they're dancing around and whatnot, it's entertaining. And again, they can actually get people to show up for it. You're actually getting some decent baseball with the entertainment. But again, not every team can put together a Savannah Banana type of team and people are going to show up. It's kind of like special team name, special players, and in a special part of the country where it works. So. Yeah, the thing is if you did Steph, LeBron, KD going against young guys, that's not going to be good enough, bro. I mean, again, it's a good thought, but again, just because you have like those young guys going against like Anthony Edwards and Wemby, I mean, it's like we pretty much are getting that already, depending on the teams, and we need to go back to Eastern-Western Conference instead of doing Team LeBron, Team Giannis, or doing Team Charles Barkley, Team Kenny. That's the dumbest shit ever. Like, you need to go back to the history Eastern Conference, Western Conference. I mean, there's very subtle, simple things that could help, but it won't improve it completely. But again, rookie sophomore game, better competitors on Saturday night, Eastern Western Conference. Stop doing this drafting team bullshit. Eastern players versus Western players. Go back to what worked, instead of trying to do it for these young kids in this social media era, because they don't even fucking care, It's like people, making all of these changes and forgetting about, the history of the game and what fucking worked, And I think the NBA is also in denial mode, thinking that they're just as popular as MLB, NHL, and NFL and college football. They don't want to actually look at the numbers. And as long as the NBA players are getting paid big dollars and then the fans aren't watching, it doesn't matter. They don't care. They're getting paid, regardless if fans are watching or fans are buying tickets or not, I mean, I try to watch a little bit of everything, but again, if you're not going to get people to commit, what's going to make people go out of their way to watch, But again, I feel like the NBA players are spoiled, they're lazy, they're entitled, and they're overpaid. And again, you get more effort out of NHL, even though it's not for everyone. You get, obviously more effort in college football and college basketball. Some of those kids are getting NIL deals and getting paid. Some of them aren't. But you're seeing the effort and the passion, and then you get the camaraderie, and then you get the band and the cheerleaders. College sports is always awesome, right? And then obviously MLB, they try. And that's why the MLB All-Star Game is always the best All-Star festivity event, regardless if you like baseball or not, But I don't think there really is anything like, even if you did those things that I said, Eastern Western Conference, rookie sophomore, you have the best players that normally compete only on Sunday in the All-Star Game compete on Saturday, and the skills, the 3-point and the dunk, and they actually fucking tried. No, Mac McClungs anymore. Straight, the best of the top tier guys. The LeBrons, the Kevin Durants, the Anthony Edwards, the Wembys, only the top guys. That's it. No lower names, only big names. And even if they did that, it still wouldn't improve it to the point where everyone is going to come back. It would definitely flash a little bit and the ratings would spike for that particular year. But then if they ended up going back to doing the dumb shit that they're doing, changing it every year, again, I feel like the NBA is in pure denial mode. And obviously most people realize that the product is garbage, and, it's going to be really hard to mend the problems that they've had. So. And you see more NBA players, not play games than in any other sport. NHL guys are tough. NFL guys are tough. MLB guys, they're tough. But with the NBA, they could have a minor injury, and if it was in the 80s and 90s, these guys would play. They would have a fucking neck brace on, and they would fucking play. Guys now, they might sprain a finger and just be like, nah, I'm going to sit out for a couple games, And again, if you have that type of mentality across the board, then again, the product suffers, the team suffers, and the fans ultimately suffer. Load management's a bunch of shit. I mean, I can have fun going to a local Blazer game, because my friends will take me for free and whatnot, but it's not like I'm going to be spending my hard-earned money, to go to an NBA game. There's definitely other things that I would want to put that money towards, Mariners or Oregon Ducks, things that, where I know I'm going to be able to get the effort, at least for the Blazers. I can't speak for every team, but at least they're young and they try. But they're one of the few teams, that you actually see that tries, like the Thunder try, the Cavs try, the Celtics try, and those teams try because, obviously they have good defense and they rebound and they're committed. but how many teams are really committed to rebounding and defense and not just offense? And that's the difference too. If you actually get teams that are built that way, like the Celtics, the Cavaliers, and the Thunder, if you had more teams built like that, then the product overall would be better. But again, it's only like a handful of teams that you actually see that actually try, game in and game out. Most of them, they're just kind of going through the motions. We're knotted up here at 1, baby. 5 minutes to go. Ebbs, Schwartz, Alexiak, Fleury, and Shane Wright. Let's go, Shane. Yeah, but on the NBA side, right, compared to, because load management isn't really a problem in the NHL, MLB, or NFL. Again, these guys are tough. And again, you don't want to re-aggravate an injury. But again, when an injury is minor and you can play through it, and then you get guys that just plainly decide that they don't want to play, or, they're just trying to rest a guy for the playoffs, like a Kawhi Leonard, that hurts the game. When a guy can play and decides not to. That's what we're saying. Of course, if someone is injured, they shouldn't be out there. We don't want to force anyone out there that really has a serious injury or they're not healthy yet, and then they go out there and re-aggravate it. That would just be plain stupidity, right? And some guys want to play badly for their team, for their fans, for themselves, their family, and I get that. But, a lot of the NBA stuff, it's just based off laziness, and, they're collecting the paycheck regardless if they play or not. So, NBA is, I don't think it'll ever be what it was, in the 80s and 90s, unless you end up getting guys like Jordan and Kobe, that actually, show that effort and passion, and again, the age of the jump shot is over now. It's only threes and dunks with no defense. And that's another problem to the game. Steph Curry ruined it, for everyone. It was already worse enough where people were lazy and didn't play D and didn't care. And then now on top of not playing D and care, now you're getting people out of position thinking that they're Steph Curry at 7'6", shooting threes, and everyone doing it, shooting 30, 40, 50 threes a game. That hurts the game. It's not like teams are shooting 50% from three. I mean, every once in a while you'll see a Celtics team maybe do it, but again, that hurts the game. Everyone shooting threes, point guards, shooting guards, small forwards, power forwards, centers, backups. Even if they have no business shooting a three, they go out there and shoot a three. But I got no pity for the NBA. They did this to themselves. And again, I would rather be watching wrestling, baseball, NASCAR, NHL. I can think of a billion things that I would normally want to watch over the NBA, unless the Blazers are playing, or I'm going to a game with like a friend or something. So. Schwartz, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, and Wright. Oh, hooking. Yeah. But I'm saying, like, even if the Sonics came back, are you going to be a dedicated watcher, game in and game out? A lot of people that were Sonics fans still wouldn't do it, based on how the game is now. Now, there would be an internal initial excitement. Yes, the Sonics are back. I-5 rivalry, Blazers, Sonics, Sonics, Lakers, Sonics, Blazers. That would, the initial hype would be exciting. But since the product overall is so bad, like I said, after that initial honeymoon, phase kind of wears off, let's be real. There's a lot of people that were Sonic fans, whether they're diehard, fair weather, or would occasionally watch, that still wouldn't be fully invested just because the Sonics come back. Now, there definitely are fans that would be fully invested and maybe not follow the Thunder anymore because that ended up being the Sonics. But there's going to be a lot of bullshit that has happened since the Sonics left that some people would just say, fuck it. Like, I just don't care. I got enough time watching the Kraken, the Mariners, the Seahawks. I'm not going to go out of my way and support this particular product. Some will, some won't, And again, the Sonics are going to have a team. They are going to have a team coming back, and I wish them all the success and love. But the NBA overall as a product has been so bad that instead of everyone being thrilled and committing to the Sonics, you're only going to get a percentage of those hardcore fans from back in the day. And then you're also going to get some fair weather, and occasional watchers that may watch a game here and a game there, but it doesn't have the same feel as if it was like, if the NBA product was like the NHL, the NFL, the MLB, then it would be different. Maybe more people would be invested, but the NBA has really shot themselves in the foot for quite some time. I mean, ratings have been down 75% since 1998. No other sport can say that. Come on, Kraken. Kako, Beniers, Nyman, Dunn, Ebbs. We got the power play. Let's take advantage, baby. Yeah, if Portland ended up getting a team, I would go, but I wouldn't switch from being a Mariner fan. I would go to see the other teams coming in, or just hang out with friends. But I wouldn't be changing my alliance from the Mariners. Oh, hit the crossbar. Come on, Hayden, Montour, Isemont, Tolman, and Evans. Come on, Kraken. And they killed that power play. Wolf, I see you. No relation to Colleen. 31-30 Cavs on the Blazers. Come on, Blazers. And a big part of the interest, in the Blazers is, obviously my best friend has never given up on them, regardless if they're good, they're bad, no matter, what the overall product is. So, and anytime someone is willing to take me to a game, of course I'm going to go. I think just as much of going to the game and, having the snacks and watching is I like being able to interact with people at an event. The little chest bumps, the high fives, the fist, the pounds, and just having a good time, and hopefully you get a good game when you actually go together. Ooh, big check on the boards there. Get back, Kraken. 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Ooh, one-timer just wide. Another shot deflected there by the Kraken. Good defense. Tolvanen, Evans, Hayden, Montour, Isemont. Come on, Kraken. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the second period. And again, we're not going to get over 3 in this game. It's going to probably end up being 2-1 or 3-2, just like the other previous, 3 matchups. But we gotta stay tough here in this end of the second. Bang! There we go! Yes! There we go, Kraken. Ty Cartier. Woo! My dog. Nice job, Ty. Hey, you ask and you shall receive. That's kind of how it goes. Fuck yeah. I mean, I was saying let's finish strong, but I didn't actually mean finish strong right this second. Hey, but I'll take it, baby. Let's go. And that is been a long time coming, baby. Fuck yeah, baby. Let's go. Nice job, Kraken. And again, there's a reason why I did this, not just for Megan alone, but again, Blazers, Cavs, I knew that would be a good game, right? But I try to be able to try to find matchups where the Kraken actually have a chance to win. And sometimes we'll end up beating a really good team that we have no business beating. And we have a game of our life. But, realistically, we're not that much better than that many teams. Like we're a bottom 5 team. So, besides like the Sharks and a few others, the Blackhawks, Nashville, again, there's not very many teams that we match up evenly with, even though we, got a long ways to go. But great second period here. Jaden Schwartz, Ty Cartier. I love it. 2-1 Kraken. Nice job. Oh, the whole family is there? Nice. Scoring in front of the family, always a plus. Nice check on the boards. Get back. And Decord has done well. I mean, if Grubauer was in that, we don't really know how many goals they would have right now. Would they have 1? Would they have 2? Would they have 3? Would they have 4? It's been rough for Phillip. And it's been rough for Decord in some of the matchups also. Let's not kid ourselves. He's our 1, but he's gotten obliterated a few times, within the last month. So today he's played pretty fucking well on the road, and hopefully we can hold them to 1 for the rest of the matchup. End of the second period, finishing strong. Ty Cartier, assisted by Vince Dunn. 2-1 Kraken. Let's go. Hell yeah. There we go. We got MLB starting up on Thursday. I don't really know what we're going to be doing tomorrow. Nice win for your Blues on the Canadian 6-1. We got Canucks, Islanders, Devils, Blackhawks, Stars, Oilers, Bruins, Ducks, NBA. Bucks, Nuggets, but then you don't have Dame because he's got the blood clot, so that's not really relevant. So I don't really know what we're going to do. Either take the day off or maybe go over Mariners and go over an MLB preview, and just, look at some photos of our players and, kind of go over the matchups, for the following day. Maybe we'll end up doing that. And we don't got to stream for a long time. We could just do like something simple, an hour to 2 hours. And, I can go over the projected lineup of the Mariners, going into Thursday against the A's. We can also do projected lineups, for some of your guys' favorite teams, whatever you guys want. We could do new photos. We could do old school photos of OGs and legends like Griffey, and Willie Mays and, Babe Ruth, whatever, So there's nothing really worth doing on the hockey or the basketball side. So, maybe we'll end up doing something like that where we'll just do like a Mariner preview or MLB preview and just kind of hang out and, see how each other's days are going. And, it doesn't have to be anything really long. It could be, an hour to 2 hours and just hang out for a little bit. And then Thursday is when the MLB season starts, baby, for every team besides the Dodgers and Cubs who did the Tokyo series. And I'll be watching a lot of baseball Thursday morning, you best believe. Let's go. I'm hot in here. My face is flushed because it's so fucking hot in here with all the photography lights and it being so hot outside. But I'll manage. 2-1 Kraken. Let's go. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. We need 8 more likes to get to 20 to get into the algorithm. And again, you never know when the algorithm will hit. We got it to hit for the Mariners. We've got it to hit for the Ducks a couple times. And we've been able to have it hit for the NASCAR Cup Series races many times already, which is a little surprising, but I'm glad. And again, I'm going to try to do as many Monday Night Raws and NASCAR Cup Series races, even with the Mariners schedule. But, my goal is to do a lot of Mariners. I want to try to do 150 plus games out of 162. So if we end up not doing a Mariner game, it'll probably be because of Monday Night Raw or maybe like a NASCAR Cup Series, or I might have to just dig deep and try to do 2 streams in a day. But doing a baseball game and a NASCAR stream is tough. It's because of the amount of time and energy that is involved with that. But again, and then we might end up seeing some Kraken or Blazers still sprinkled in, but it really just depends on the time of the Mariners. And I also want to make sure I'm not, not ignoring Paisley. We have a routine, where we end up walking early in the morning, in the afternoon, and at night. And I want to make sure that she still has that love and attention instead of me sitting in here streaming, for 8 to 10 hours straight, and she's not getting her dad time. So, I got to make sure she comes first. So we're at 35, 65 to go. Yeah, I got a window here. We do have an indoor AC unit that we can turn on in the living room, but a lot of times my door is shut, so that way the noise of the game and me in here, so that way family can kind of do their own thing without hearing me scream like a fucking lunatic while I'm calling the Mariner game or whatever we're doing and whatnot. So. I got fans in here. I got a big box fan that's in the closet, and I got a medium fan that usually is on me and whatnot. But yeah, maybe a window unit, might be something that I might have to do. I've been sweating it out, for quite a few years and whatnot. But I'm used to it. I'm always hot all the time as a guy. We obviously know most females are a little bit cooler and a little bit colder and whatnot. Not everyone, but I'm like my dad. Like, I don't wear pants. I wear shorts. And again, if I'm gonna wear pants, I don't even own. Believe it or not, I don't even own a pair of jeans. I don't even own khakis or anything like that. Like when I was younger, maybe I would have some, but it's straight. Like Nike shorts. Jordan shorts, just so I can, be comfortable and whatnot. And then the only long pants that I own are like Oregon Duck official, like sweats, like the players would wear on the sideline. That's it. That's the only pair that I own. I don't own anything else, like that, because I don't know. I just get too hot and whatnot. I like to have my arms and my legs. I like to be able to feel the coolness and the breeze. So, $30 holla. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. A little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. Way to bring that electricity, just like the Mariner ownership today. Who did we get to sign an extension? Big Jumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go. A little bit of Cal, a little bit of Cal, a little bit of Cal. Let's go. Appreciate you. What do you want to do for photos? Anything, let me know. I got to make some more room, get some more photos up here. Go, baby. All smiles today. Big Dumper. All day, every day. And he's definitely going to, go down as the Mariners' best catcher, of all time. We're not going to have one better than him. And at least management and ownership understood the assignment. Don't take the guy that's the best at the position we've ever had for granted, No knock on, Zunino or Dan Wilson, but Cal will end up being the best. And depending on, his stat line, and if we ever win a World Series, Cal might end up being a Hall of Famer one day. You never know. We don't really know about Julio. We don't know about Cal, or Kirby or Gilbert, but we definitely have guys that could be Hall of Fame or borderline Hall of Fame, but we got a long ways to go before we get into that discussion. But again, I like the upside for our team. All right, we're at intermission now, so we'll get some more photos for Reflect. 2-1 Kraken, baby. I need a Kraken win. I need a Blazer win. And, we've already won as Mariner fans today. Let's go. McLemore. I appreciate all of y'all very, very, very much. And we'll get some more photos for Megan up here as well, since we're at intermission. We'll try to sprinkle in as many as we can during intermission. 65, 35 to go. I grind it out, if we have hot ass temperatures, I'll have to keep the door open, so that way that cool air will come in. We do have like an indoor AC unit where it's not in, it's one of those ones, it's indoor, it's got a tube, right? And then the tube is connected to like a plastic piece. And then you open up the window slightly, and then you put that kind of, piece that looks like a piece of wood, but it's plastic. And then you duct tape it, all around, and make sure that no air comes in. Duct tape around the hose part that goes into the machine and into that plastic piece. Duct tape the shit out of that. And then it actually ends up keeping the whole house relatively pretty cool. But obviously, if you have a door closed, and then I have these photography lights to give you the good lighting. As you can see, my face is pretty flushed, and it's only 75 degrees outside. So when it gets 100, it'll feel like a fucking 100 and whatever in here. But again, I'm going to be grinding it out. So lots of water. That's for damn sure. But I've been doing this channel for such a long time, and most of the time I have something, to help out. Obviously I can't just have nothing. I don't want to be miserable, but I will grind it out. 46-42 Cavs at Rip City. They're at Moda. They're fighting. Do a little Brian May here for Megan. Yeah, but I won't be able to have the door closed when it's, too hot. I got to be able to. I can grind it out, but I don't want to, be miserable. Sometimes the Mariners themselves, right, will make us miserable. The last thing that I need is the weather to make me miserable, and then on top of the Mariners blowing a game or blowing a save there at the end. So, but you know how that goes. Anyone that's a fan of any team in Oregon or Washington, we're built different. Again, we're not going to be great all the time, right? And there's going to be a lot of heartache and heartbreak. But when our teams are good, we are really fucking good, like good enough to win the whole thing. And that's a special thing about Pacific Northwest teams. We may not be great every year, but when we end up, getting to a point where we are, doubt us, do what you need to do, but we can go further than people think. Great photos here, Brian May for Megan. Yes. Yes. It's going to be better with Edgar Martinez. You've already seen the differences. We ended up being one of the top 2 teams in spring training at hitting, and I get it. It's only spring training and it didn't lead to a bunch of wins, but everyone seems like they're, better than they were last year. The vibes are better. So, oh, nice. 6 goals away. Hell yeah. Oh, I bet. Depending on if you live in a condo, house, or apartment, depending on if the sun hits directly or not, it can really cook up a room. 100%. Judah in the building. Judah. Jew to the duh. How are you? My guy. And, I love old school, music, and even though I grew up with like hip hop and whatnot, I still find myself on the daily listening to things that people would not think that I listen to. Like I probably listen to more 60s music than anyone that I know. Like I said, sometimes when you listen to stuff that's like current, and it doesn't really have the meaning, and it doesn't like move you, and there definitely is older stuff that the younger generation isn't willing to listen to. But for me, I'm willing to listen to a little bit of everything. And I get more enjoyment, out of listening from stuff in the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and, compared to a lot of the current stuff. Now, are some current things, decent? Yeah. But I feel like, music in general, it's not as good overall as it was back in the day. But again, you could say that for a lot of things. I love, like I got 60s radio in the house all day on, like all day long. It's just like, regardless if it's Beatles or whatever, but it's like, it's just kind of nice to be able to listen to stuff that you normally would hear in like a movie, a TV show, a cutscene, but just to be able to soak in music that like OG people and older people over 40 appreciate, but still may not listen to it to this day, but I really do appreciate, the music that actually is like moving and it's like never ending, and again, some music, will go from generation to generation. Others will just be one-hit wonders and a fad for the moment. But a lot of the stuff from back in the day is just so incredible. So many people are missing out, and definitely tap in, to something that you haven't listened to in a while. It'll put a big smile to your face. Let me tell you. I saw today, speaking of putting a smile to my face and put a tear to my eye, you know what put a tear to my eye today? I actually saw the intro to 2 shows that I watched as a kid. I haven't seen the intro for 25 to 30 years, but I saw the intro, the full intro to Perfect Strangers with, Balky, right? And Cousin Larry, right? The whole thing. And then I saw the full intro, with all the cast members and the music to Doogie Howser, MD. Like, to see those intros to those shows, like, it sparked a memory, back when I was a kid, also watching Alf, Mr. Belvedere. Either or you don't. You're either in my, age gap, a little bit older, a little bit younger. You know what I'm talking about. You've heard of those things or not. But the Perfect Strangers one, I was like very dedicated to Cousin Larry and Balky or Tokamus. Okay. And to be able to watch that intro with the music, man, it like makes me like kind of want to go out of my way now and, like watch some old school episodes of those shows. But I literally haven't seen the intros to those shows. And there was a thing on my timeline that started showing like, the 2-minute intros with the music and the cast. And I definitely forgot some of the people that were in the shows, but it definitely put a good smile to my face. So, down the road, I probably will be linking in to Perfect Strangers for an episode or 2, and maybe even a little Doogie Howser, MD. Pretty cool. I love Perfect Strangers. I mean, that was... Doogie Howser MD was a once in a while thing, but for Perfect Strangers, I love that shit. Like I was on that all the time, every episode, and I love the intro to that show too. Because you get to see, Larry from where he is, like New York with his family. He waves goodbye, goes to Chicago. Balky is, living overseas, and then obviously instead of America or Bust, it's like America or Blast, like it's not spelled correctly. And then he's traveling on a wagon in the intro and then eventually makes it to, New York City. We can see the Statue of Liberty and then eventually, meeting in Chicago. They become roommates. I'm definitely going to have to dive into some of these old school shows that I used to watch. Oh man, good stuff. You never know when something will come across your timeline and spark those memories that you had when you were younger. All right, we're in the 3rd period, and what a better way to make everybody happy, right, is for the Kraken to win this matchup against Calgary on the road. Let's go, Seattle. Yeah, America or Burst. Oh man, so good. Like there were so many little subtle things that I remembered, but then almost forgot. And just hearing the theme music kind of made me tear up a little bit, because again, it's like I haven't watched that show or seen that intro since I was like, 5, 6, 7 years old, and I'm 42, going to be 43. But I could just picture my little self, sitting in front of the TV, getting so excited, watching Perfect Strangers and what kind of antics Larry and Balky were going to get into. And obviously as the shows got older, then you had like the Friday night lineup with, Family Matters, Step by Step, and I watched all that stuff too. But if you go further back, I have like those good memories, Mr. Belvedere, and then the Growing Pains, and Alf, and the stuff that I was like super, super young, but have really great memories of. Blossom, like any type of show, that was on. I wasn't rich, I was kind of poor, so I didn't have cable. It was ABC, CBS, NBC, OPB, Fox. That's it. Like that's all I had. I had to buy VHSs, at like Bi-Mart and other stores that were blank, and I would have to give them to my friends so they could record stuff for me. That's how I was able to keep up with stuff. I mean, if it wasn't on, regular TV, or if I was at like a friend's house or something. But based on the shows that we talk about, it kind of ages all of us, because again, people that are, under 40 or under 35, they may, or may not remember some of the stuff. And then obviously if you're 40 and up, a lot of the things that I mentioned, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about because you're in that same kind of wheelhouse. You're either 5 years younger, 5 years older, or maybe 10, 20, 30 years older. And, you have those memories from that time period. Perfect Strangers, man. Good stuff. They don't make sitcoms like they used to. Malcolm in the Middle is starting to tape for the reboot, and Frankie Muniz, obviously a full-time driver for the NASCAR Craftsman Series truck series. He went and started to go back and watch on season 1. Everyone is coming back to the show except Dewey, which is, he was kind of the one that made the show, but I was reading an article saying that he hated acting and his mom and dad forced him to do it, so he doesn't want to come back and do the reboot. So I respect that. Not everyone has the passions. A lot of parents took advantage of their kids to try to get rich and force them into that business. And it sounds like with Dewey's character, they're going to have someone else play like the adult version, which is kind of a damn shame, but I probably will still check out some of the episodes for Malcolm in the Middle for the reboot. Everyone's coming back besides Dewey, but that's like one of the best characters. Dewey was insane, but again, we'll see where that goes. But definitely was a little sad to hear that, the parents kind of forced him to do something that he hated and whatnot. But he was very memorable and he was good at what he did, as being a kid in that show for sure. MASH. Oh yeah, I remember MASH. You hear the little theme song and then the chopper and whatnot, the cheers, and even though there was like shows that were like too like mature for me, but I definitely always would like sneak out of bed and watch Married with Children. That was a given. Like Married with Children was my shit. Like, the old one with Steve, before Steve ended up, getting replaced and whatnot, like the old school episodes where, Bud is incredibly young. Everyone is super, super young in those first, couple seasons. And then they made a few changes, further on, obviously. But I love me the Married with Children. Very edgy, but I loved it. And I know I'm not the only one that watched that show religiously. I save. Good old Al Bundy. Polk High, 4 touchdowns in one game. Oh, A-Team and Knight Rider, those were good too. But it's kind of crazy how like a 2-minute melody, of an intro of a show can kind of get you. I miss Mr. Belvedere too. Harry and the Hendersons. I mean, there was so much random TV that I watched when I was a kid. Obviously I spent a lot of time outside, a lot of time playing video games. I mean, don't get it twisted. I am, Asian and whatnot. So I spent a lot of times, with the video games and whatnot. But, I definitely made an effort to get on a schedule. When my shows were on, video games were off. My wrestling figures, my G.I. Joes, other things, they could take a little bit of a back seat, while I'm watching my program. So, good save. 57-47 Cavs. Come on, Blazers. Oh, Airwolf. That's another good one. Like a low-key show that not everyone remembers. Step by step, day by day. Oh, man. The memories. Lots of Full House, lots of Step by Step, lots of Family Matters, lots of Saved by the Bell. Lots of Saved by the Bell. Got about 15 minutes to go. Kraken on a power play, baby. Let's go. Let's take advantage. Let's beat these Flames. Ooh, Deep Space Nine. Nice. Ebbs, Montour, Kako, Beniers, Nyman. Come on, baby. This is a good line. Almost dead even with shots on goal. Calgary with one more, 22-21. Been pretty evenly matched. And again, not too much of offensive firepower from either team. That's what kind of makes this game, going to be very, very close in every matchup that we've had. And again, no team has scored more than 3 all season. It's going to be very, very close here coming towards the end. And hopefully Decord can hang tough here. But it definitely feels that we're going to hopefully win 3-2 if we end up getting 2 more goals, 1 each. But we'll wait and see if that ends up happening. Ebbs, Montour, Kako, Beniers, and Nyman. Let's go. Shane Wright in there. Let's go, Shane. Schwartz, Larson, Burakovsky, done right. I like this line here. Shane Wright, shot deflected. Come on, baby. Three for 4 on those kills. Larson, Hayden, Eismont, Tolvanen, and Evans. Joey Decord doing a fantastic job. Don't want to jinx him, though. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Help us get to the algorithm. Trying to get to 20 before the stream ends. 30 to 50 if we hit the algorithm. Appreciate y'all. 8 more to go to get there. And I don't really know what we're at on the dono train, but Sarah will let you know. Larson, Hayden, Eismont, Tolvanen, and Evans. Oh! Just saved by Wolf. Kraken are aggressive. And again, this is, one of those 5 or 6, potential winnable games that we have. We're not going to have too many. on the schedule, where you look at their record, you look at our record, even if we're at home or on the road, that we'll have a chance. And we're playing pretty good here. And again, if Decord, wasn't on point, hell, we could be down by, 3-4 goals in this particular matchup. But he's been great today, and hopefully he can stay with only giving up one by the time this one ends. I would love for us to score at least one more, though. Ooh, nice check on the boards. Larson, Hayden, Eismont, Tolvanen, and Evans. 65-35 to go. Come on, Kraken. Defense has been actually good this game, and we've been able to kind of keep the puck out of our own zone so Decord isn't just getting nailed for shot after shot after shot. I mean, you can't expect someone to take 5 shots, every minute and expect him to block every single one. So nice to be able to see that, the passing has been pretty good. We could be better in faceoffs and in the power play, just like any team. Ooh. But again, we're staying on the aggressive side here in the second and third period, and that's why we have this 2-1 lead. Shout out to Joey Decord, and let's see if we can get someone else here in the scoring column. Ebb, Schwartz, Dunn, Fleury, and Wright. Let's go, Shane. 4.5 over 4, so you need 5. I don't know. I don't know if you're going to get over 4.5, my guy. I mean, do I think that it could end up being a 3-2 final? Yeah, I think it could, but you might need some power play assistance for that to happen, though. A little 5-on-4 action, so I don't know. I mean, at this point, for a 3-2 final, I mean, the chances of that happening right now, it's a pretty good chance, but I would probably say 40%. I think the Kraken can still get one more goal, but I don't know about Calgary. And, and if Calgary does score, they would probably, not to say that they can't score, when it's 5-on-5, but, having a power play would definitely help, give you a little bit more upside for your bet. Now, if this was Joey Decord from a couple games ago when he was struggling, then I would say, yeah, it's going to happen. Oh, we're getting chippy here. Punch his ass. Here we go. Punch him. There we go. Jab his ass. There we go. Down. Man down. Man down. Flame down. There we go. We got a couple jabs there in front of Decord. And that flame player should have been smarter. What did you think was going to happen? You're going to jab the player in the jaw a couple times and nothing's going to happen? But the refs break it up, so we can't even get a fight here. But that's what Calgary probably needs. Last game in the parlay. And you need a 3-2 final. You might get one goal, but again, I don't know if you're going to get 2. But again, if Calgary ends up getting the goal and then it ends up going to overtime, and then you're going to end up getting a 3-2 final, then you win. So essentially, it could go that route too. It doesn't necessarily have to be 2 goals in the third. It could be 1 goal in the third and 1 in overtime. So you got to look at it that way too. Larson, Burakovsky, McCann, Dunn, and Tolvanen. Come on, Kraken. Man, it's hot as shit in here. If you end up getting your parlay, what do you win? What's your bet looking like? Are you going to win over $50 or is it under 50? 60-52 halftime. Cavs up on my Blazers. Not bad. Only down by 8 at home to one of the best teams in the NBA. I'll take that. $250 if you win the parlay. 6 odds in total, and then you've already won the other 5, and this is the last one. Isn't it kind of funny how that's the way the parlays work? whether you do 4 or 6 or 8 or 10 or 12, it always ends up being the last one that kind of fucks it all up. I mean, sometimes you'll have a parlay and it gets fucking ruined at the beginning, like one of your early picks, and ends up, and it doesn't matter what happens the rest of the way. But the ones that hurt the most, is the ones that happen at the very end where you've hit, and then all of a sudden it's down to that last one, and the sports gods will either, take care of you, or you'll end up losing and have to wait till another day. Oh, just wide. I don't really personally do any betting, but we do have some betting that is available through DraftKings or whatever here in Oregon. And I was thinking about doing a bet of the Thunder winning the championship, the Thunder winning in 6 over the Celtics, and then SVG winning MVP. And if I do that, I don't know how much money I would have to put down for that, but I'm pretty confident that that's what we're going to get. And, I would love to be able to get a few more dollars in my pocket. And again, I feel that there's nothing is guaranteed in betting, but I definitely think that we're going to get the Thunder and the Celtics. I think the Thunder is going to win in 6 or 7 games. And I do believe SVG, I do believe that Shea is going to, he's going to end up getting MVP. So. SGA, baby. Not to say that the Cavs don't have a chance, or the Nuggets. You would assume that those would be the other 2 teams that could find a way. But if you've watched anything on the NBA side, I believe the Thunder have beaten the Celtics in both regular season matchups. Celtics are the only team that I feel in the East that could win it all. I don't think there's no other team that can do it. Even though Cleveland's great, but if it goes to Cleveland and Boston, I just don't see Cleveland beating Boston in a 7-game series. Could they win a couple games? 2? Maybe even 3, possibly. But the way that the Celtics have been playing this year and their depth, especially with Derek White and Peyton Pritchard, I just don't see the depth on Cleveland. And then I like the Nuggets with Westbrook and the Joker and Jamal Murray. But again, the way that SGA and the Thunder are playing this year, it seems like they are, the real deal Holyfield. And if they do end up winning, obviously Shea will be a household name after this year. Yeah, Wolf is still in. They're not going to pull him. It's 2-1, so he's been playing great. Oh, overtime doesn't count. Well, fuck. That sucks. But Wolf is still in. He's doing good. But I was thinking that maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll go Thunder in 6, Thunder winning the championship, and then SGA winning MVP. And then I don't know how much money I would put down, 50 to 100. I don't really have money to do that. But again, I have pretty good ESP, and I don't know what that would win me in DraftKings or FanDuel. But I'm thinking of, I downloaded the app and then I fucking deleted it. I was so close on doing it because I don't have an addiction to gambling, and I never have, and I never will. It's like if I do a bet, I'll do one a year, like National Tight Ends Day or something that I know that I can win money on or have a very good chance of winning, after doing my research and actually reading and watching film and watching the games. But, if you're looking for a bet, that might be one of the better ones. And if you put it in your bet now, rather than waiting until the playoffs, you'll win more money. So. But it just kind of feels like a Thunder Celtics NBA Finals. And it feels like, the Celtics are great, but again, I feel like the Thunder are better, and they proved that in the regular season. And they don't really have an answer. Really the only way we don't get Thunder and Celtics in the finals is if you end up having injuries to Tatum, Brown, SGA and Chet and a few of the main guys. Then it might be Nuggets and Cavs. And I don't know who the hell would watch that, but it is what it is. Larson, Alexiak, Cartier, Beniers. Let's go. 2-1 Kraken. Ow! What a save. One-timer, another one. Just wide. Calgary on the power play here. 5-on-4. Oh! Oh! Another save. Decord playing out of his mind. Let's go. Let's fucking go. $23 block shots for the Kraken, only 10 for the Flames. Again, Joey sometimes plays great. Other times he'll give up 5 goals. This is one of the games where he's playing great and confidence is high, and they've been able to keep the puck out of the zone for him, and it shows. And again, but there still has been opportunities where, they're getting multiple shots on a particular drive, and that's how that's climbed up to 23, up into this third period. But to only give up 1 goal based on a lot of that work, impressive. 23 shots on goal to 27 for Calgary. Natman in the building. What's good, brother? Still in the fucking power play. 6 minutes to go. Come on! Alexiak, McCann, Fleury, Tolvanen. Yeah, tough to happen for Juju Watkins, best player in women's college hoops, and obviously that totally takes their chances of making a deep run out of the window. Come on, Krakens. Hang tough. It's not often that we kill a power play. Almost 90% of the time when a team has a power play on us, regardless on who we play, we lose. They score. Almost every fucking time. It's pretty rare that we get a few kills on someone that has a power play 5-on-4. And there you go. There it is. And they just tied it up. 2-2. Damn it. I had a feeling. And I don't jinx things, but I just had this weird feeling that it was about to happen, and it did. There it is. And we're knotted up at 2. Scoreboard hasn't updated, but they just scored. I just, just that angle and the way that it was looking there, when they have 30 seconds to maybe a minute left in that power play out of the 2 minutes, I get real nervous. And there it is. We're knotted up at 2. Damn it. Kadri. Frost. Herberto with the assist. 2-2 Kraken and Flames. This one is going to be fun. And again, it could be, the Flames or the Kraken in OT, but it feels like there's a little bit of juice here in this third period where you may end up getting a winner. And, if you're a Kraken fan, you've seen this story before where Calgary scores in the third, they're going to score again. And then we end up losing 3-2. But we've also seen the flip side of the story where the Kraken fight back, return the momentum back to their side, and they score 3-2. Or both teams don't score, we go to OT, and then we lose. We're not very good in OT, but I'm just hoping we can find a line with Shane Wright in it, and maybe Larson and Shane Wright and Beniers in a line, and we might be able to have a good offensive line where we can get past Wolf and get this last goal. 5 minutes to go here in the third period, and we got a good one here. 2-2 Kraken and Flames. Yeah, dude with the parlay is happy. Again, power plays, like I said even earlier, when the Kraken have a power play against them, we're fucked. It's like, again, we normally give up goals like 90% of the time. So it's not often that we can kill a power play. We're not very good defensively. And we're not very good as a goal-scoring team either. So it's kind of a recipe for disaster. And then sometimes we suck in net. So it's like you suck in net. You're not very good, when you're having to defend the power play. You don't really have a lot of guys that can score goals. It doesn't really work out in your favor that often. And that's why the Kraken are a bottom 5 team. But, I hope that they can get better in the years to come. Come on, baby. Come on, Kraken. Under 5 minutes to go. Burakovsky, Montour, Eismont, Beniers, and Evans. We need Shane Wright out there. Let's go. Oh, damn it. Into the glove of Decord. Nice save. Oh, they're getting chippy. Fight his ass. Beat his ass. Let's go. This is what we needed. A fight finally. There. Throw the hands. Throw the hands. There we go. Gloves off. Let him fight. Let him fight. Ooh. Couple cheap shots by the Flames. Beat his ass. Knock him to the ground. Wow. Couple cheap shots there by the Flames. But they finally have a couple mini fights that pop off there for Calgary. And again, it probably will benefit Calgary more than Seattle here, with the fighting and whatnot, since they were down in this game 2-1 and they just caught up. They're trying to get the crowd into it, and I get that. But Seattle will punch back, and we'll fight back, baby. Montour, he ain't afraid. But a nice save. And a couple jabs, but we're coming down to the wire. Less than 5 minutes to go. Commercial break, and we're knotted up at 2. Stormbum in the building. What's good? You excited for the MLB season? We're just right around the corner, man. 2 days away. Very excited. We'll be doing a lot of Mariners on the channel. And getting a big dumper with that contract extension. 6 years, $105 million. Let's fucking go, baby. Best catcher in the game. Really going to help out our pitching staff. What a game. And again, I had a choice between doing this or the Blazers and the Cavs, but I didn't necessarily think the Cavs were going to blow out the Blazers when we played them earlier in the season. We didn't lose by much, but I figured with this Kraken matchup, this is pretty even. Calgary and Seattle, both teams aren't the greatest, and they typically play each other pretty hard. And it looks like I made the right decision, but we'll see if the Seattle can pull off this victory. Blazers are down by, what are they down by now? 63-54. I mean, realistically, the Blazers are going to lose at home to the Cavs, being like one of the best teams in the East with the Celtics. I get it. But with the Kraken and the Flames, both are, in the bottom 10, so you never know what's going to happen. No, I don't think the Kraken want OT, Judah. Calgary maybe wants OT because they can win, but Seattle is not good in overtime. Whether it's a shootout or just straight up, we're not good in overtime. We're not good in power plays. We're not good in face-offs. I can go down the list of the things that we're not good at. And if it goes to overtime, 90% chance we lose. Any Kraken fan will tell you. Is there a slight chance that we could win in overtime? Of course, but it's like literally for Seattle, it's like 10%. For what, even if we had all the momentum, going in, like we tied it, and when we were down, and we have all the Uncle Mo, for whatever reason, once it goes to OT, the Uncle Mo, he just leaves. He just leaves our team and just goes to the other team and sits down on their bench. It's very hard for us to win in OT. And again, we'll see where it goes. But again, if Kraken are going to win this game, we have to score in regulation. We just have to take that equation out the fucking window. We got to win here. Give me some Shane Wright for the game winner. And if Shane Wright's on the ice, we're going to win. If he ends up getting some playing time. If he's not, then, we'll see where it goes. But now we got, a 4-on-3? Holy fuck, this ain't good. Now, there's a very good possibility now it's going to be 3-2 in a matter of seconds. Oh, God. Now, you got your hitting down there, but hey, we were top 2 in spring training. It may not carry over to the regular season, but your batting average is great. But hey, Mariners, we don't need you. You might want to be on your own team for the Astros. You guys got a few holes that need to be filled, like Kyle Tucker. So maybe going to your own team might be better suited for you. We don't need you on the Mariners side, but your Astros, they might need you on that side, especially with Tucker on the Cubs now. Facts. We're going to be coming for you. We're going to be coming for the Rangers. We're going to be, obviously beating the brakes off the Angels. But the one I'm actually looking forward to watching the most in the division is the A's, because no one really expects anything. I think they're going to be better than people expect. I don't expect playoffs, but I expect them to be better than last year, and they're going to be better than the Angels. Angels will be by far the worst, right? No one expects the A's to be great, but I think they'll surprise with Brent Rooker and Lawrence Butler and company. And then obviously we'll see where the Rangers and the Astros sit. Are they going to still be relevant? Or are they going to take a step back? Maybe the Mariners and the A's take a step forward. Maybe the Rangers and the Astros take a step back. Or we might have a 3-team race. And then obviously the A's on the outside looking in. We'll see. All right, Larson, Dunn, Kako, Beniers, Nyman. Let's go. Come on, Kraken. Win in regulation. Yeah, 6 goals away for Ovechkin to get to Gretzky. It's going to be a sad day when Ovechkin and Crosby are no longer playing. You got to make sure you're soaking in as much as you can of those 2 goats. Schwartz, Dunn, Kako, Beniers, Nyman. Come on, Kraken. Get Shane Wright in there. Shane Wright gives us the best chance to be able to score here, late. Shane, finding a line with Larson in it. Nice save by Joey Decord. Come on, baby. We know what's good. We know what's good. Come on, baby. We know. Nice save, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I don't think we can really say for sure who's going to be the divisional winner. Because again, we don't really. The Rangers and Astros lost some pieces, right? The A's lost their stadium and their fans, right? So, and there's the 3rd goal. Wow, that was a deep shot too. That might be the end of us. Fuck. Rasmus Anderson, bang, 3-2, Calgary. Damn it. Now we have to pray that we can get something here. Got to get Shane Wright in the game. That might be our only chance here. But again, Astros and Rangers lost some pieces, so they may not be as good as we traditionally have seen them. They could still be, right? But Mariners, we got the kind of the vibe and the hype with the pitching staff, and if the hitting can be right. And I do feel like the A's are going to be better than people think. Like, out of all the teams in Major League Baseball, if you had to choose 3 teams that are going to be better than expected, I have the A's as one of those 3. And then there's going to be other teams that are going to be like a no-brainer that are going to be better, like the Mets with Soto. They're going to be better. But I don't think anyone really feels that the A's are going to be, relevant, with no, fan base in Oakland and no stadium. But Brent Rooker is a fucking beast. Lawrence Butler is a beast. And we'll see where it all kind of plays out. 3-2 Flames. Rasmus Anderson with that last goal. And now we're backs against the wall, and we need to get Shane Wright in the fucking game here. Ebbs, Alexiak, Tolmanen, Riker Evans, Shane Wright. All right, there we go. They got my message. Shane can get us tied up here, but again, we'll see if he ends up staying out there for the rest of the 3rd period. I highly doubt it. Come on, Kraken. I hear my pup. I got to go grab her real quick. One sec. All right, I'm back. Lay down, honey. Lay down. Lay down. Ebbs, Alexiak, Tolmanen, Evans, and Wright. We're fighting for it on the boards. Come on, Kraken. Even if we get it to 3-3 and we go to OT, realistically, 90% chance we lose, but at least it extends the game and gives us a shot, a breath of life, so to speak. Ebbs, Schwartz, Larson, Dunn, Kako, Beniers, empty net. This could end up being 4-2 in a minute. And you know what the sad thing is when it's 6-on-5 for most teams and it's an advantage, but for the Kraken, it usually isn't. That's sad. You know, we can have empty net and it doesn't even really matter for us. Not hating, just being honest, you know. And why is Shane Wright not in the game? Like, you got to have the guys that have the best chance of scoring goals and the guys that have been hot as of late. So, like Larson, Maddie, Shane Wright, those three guys should be in. No disrespect to any of the other guys in the line, but, you know, come on. Oh, fuck. Ebbs, Schwartz, Larson, Dunn, Icemont, Kako, empty net. Let's go, Kraken. Come on, baby. Yes, let's go! Bang! Ebbs, baby! Let's go! Woo! Let's go! Hell yeah! Oh my God, let's go! Hell yeah! Now we got to score one more because we don't even want this shit to go to overtime. If it goes to overtime, we're in trouble. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Fuck yeah. Just with the tip. Way to bring that electricity, Abs. Let's go, baby. I mean, again, if it goes to overtime, we're fucked. But again, now we have some momentum. Let's see if we can get one more here in the last minute 30. Let's go. Ebbs, assisted by Matty Beniers and Jaden Schwartz. That a boy. Let's go. Schwartz done, Tolvanen, and now they have a line change. And they got obviously Decor to obviously back in net. There's no point of having empty net when the game is tied. That would be very stupid. Larson, Alexiak, McCann, Icemont, and Tolvanen. I would love to get Shane Wright in here for at least an opportunity for a shot late, if possible. He was in on the previous line, but then he went out, and I hope he's okay. Great effort by the Kraken. You know, two teams, you know, I don't want to necessarily say battle of the bads, but two teams that are showing effort as if they were maybe going to have a playoff opportunity, you know. And again, the seasons are long and grueling, and it's definitely hard to win on the road, and it's hard when you keep getting beat up, you know, game in and game out. But good effort by both of these teams here today. Looks like I made the right choice. And even the Blazers and the Cavs are fighting tough. We're only down by 2. 70-68. Let's go. Third quarter. Blazers and Cavs hanging tough too. Yeah, we're going to go to OT. OT. We're going to overtime, baby. Man, if I can get a Kraken win and a Blazer win in the same night, and we got Mariners coming up in 2 days, let's go. We got a couple seconds left now. Good defense. And that's the end of the third period. We're going to overtime. Let's go. I'm not going to always make the best decision, you know, based on the matchups, but I had a weird feeling about this one today. Nice job. Now we'll see if we can end up finishing the job. Either way, it's been fun, and we're not up at 3. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Do your boy a solid. Help your boy out. Let's go. And what are we at? We're at 65, 35 to go. We're almost there. 8 more likes to be able to get to 20. If you are in the room, again, we only need 7 more to get to 20. And we got 28 people in the room, 13 likes. Help your boy out. Yeah, it was when it was 6-on-5. We'll take it for us to get the goal. And normally when we go 6-on-5, we never score. So again, and it's like when we go to overtime, we never win. But every once in a while, the opposite thing will, sometimes happen. So, but 72-68 Cavs and the Blazers. Blazers, played tough against the Celtics, but obviously we know how good the Celtics are. And right now we're only down by 1, 72-71. They're at Moda. I know a few people that are at the game right now, and they're having a blast, even though they know that the Cavs are the real deal Holyfield. Appreciate that, Nat, man. Every like matters. Every like, sub, dono, share. I appreciate everything. What a great job by Ebbs, giving us a shot. Maddie scoring in overtime before. And you know what's crazy? And this particular matchup, right? The first time that we played on October 19th, it was an overtime game, 2-1 Kraken. Then we played in February 2nd in Seattle at Climate Pledge. We lost 3-2. Then we played a week later on the 8th in February on the road, and we lost 3-2 in overtime. And now we're sitting at 3-3. This is the most that any team has scored, and this will be the most points that any team has put up in this particular matchup. And obviously the Kraken have won 2 out of 3, and we won both games in overtime. Can we win this one also? We'll find out. We're 2-0 in overtime against Calgary. Okay? 3-2 and 2-1. Can we do 4-3? Let's get it. Dunn, Kako, Beniers, Huberto, Anderson, and Frost. Come on, Kraken. Please. I mean, if we're going to be doing the battle of the bads, I mean, how many teams is Seattle actually better than? San Jose Sharks, Chicago Blackhawks, Nashville Preds. I mean, we're only talking like a couple. Come on, man. Let's go. The Flames crowd is getting a little antsy. Dunn, Kako, and Beniers, come on. Shane Wright's out there with Ebbs and Riker. Come on, Shane. Oh, good save by Wolf. Come on, Shane. That's who you want to have shooting, man. Ebbs, Riker, and Shane. Let's go. All right. 4-on-4 now. Started off with 3-on-3. Ebbs, Montour, Evans, and Wright. Come on, Kraken. We're in OT. We were up 3-2, but Calgary is resilient to tie it up in the third period, and now we're in OT, the battle of the bads. Someone has to win. Burakovsky, Dunn, and Beniers. Weger, Frost, and Zari. Zari, ooh, he went down. Get up. Weger and Zari collided. Good block. Oh my God. Oh my God. Joey Decord with a crazy save. Nice save by Joey. Let's go. Less than 2 minutes to go here in OT. One-on-one. Oh, good save. Good defense. Go, Kraken, go. Beniers. Oh, big stay. Oh, my God. Big save. Big save by Wolf. Beniers tried to set up the teammate for the one-timer there, but... Oh, my. Into the net. I see you, Shane. We're in overtime. We're knotted up at 3. Got about a minute to go. Ebbs, Montour right. Kadri, Anderson, Coronado. Wolf and Decord in net. And it's been very back. Calgary! And it's over. 4-3 Flames. Kadri, Rister. Game over. Fuck! Kadri, one-on-one. Good night. Unbelievable. One-on-one is not an ideal situation, and that's all she wrote. You know, one-on-one, and like I said, like we mentioned, when it goes to overtime, again, you got to win in regulation until we get better, players, better, performances in net and whatnot. Nice job by Calgary, GG. And that is the final in overtime, 4-3 Flames. Nice job, Calgary. Tough. Oh, but it was fun. I mean, again, entertaining. But this is the type of game that you have to win, in regulation. Anytime it goes to OT, our record is not good in overtime. And maybe the Blazers can finish off the night and at least give me at least one victory. 84-80 in the third quarter. Still got a quarter to go. Well, I love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Anything photo-wise that you want me to throw up, reflect? Megan, you guys have anything else that you guys want me to throw up for you before I go? Let me know. I got to go take a long walk with Paisley and eat some dinner. We got obviously Mariners and Athletics on the MLB, obviously opening day for most teams besides the Dodgers and Cubs at 7 on Thursday. I haven't really decided what we're going to do tomorrow, if we take the day off or if we do like an MLB preview for tomorrow, for like an hour to 2 hours, something like that. So, all right, we all good? All right, well, I love you guys and I appreciate you guys very, very much. Final score, Calgary Flames 4, Seattle Kraken 3 in OT. And I appreciate every single one of y'all. And I got one question for you. Well, talk sports like us. Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics. Megan, Reflect, Sarah. Appreciate you guys very, very much. And I am out. Bang.